Hi, welcome back. Today we're going to explore how we can understand animals in our dreams. Well, the topic of animals is not an easy one. It is very personal or cultural. So we will have to pay more attention and use our intuition, check the dreamer's projections. Let's look at the PPT here. So animals in our dreams represent our animal nature, obviously, which is a more untamed, non-rational, non-civilized aspect of ourselves, often our most primitive desires. But this is not always the case. An animal can be whatever you project on it, whatever symbolic value the dreamer will find in it. However, usually they indicate very specific qualities, whether positive or negative. Qualities that we, as dreamer, project on this or that animal. So as we said, it might be very culturally related, but also there is often a mix of animal and human. Sometimes we feel there was an animal there, but somehow I felt this was a human being. So there can be some kind of mix. So let's look at a number of examples. You will find more in my book or in other resources. The eagle obviously flies high, has a very accurate eyesight. So he would represent the part of us that can fly high and that can see things sharply. A parrot talks a lot or repeats what you say. That will represent a part of us that is very talkative or just repeating what other people do or say. The shark is a killer. So a shark in your dream might represent either yourself as a killer or a killer that you observe in your outer environment. The camel is an animal that carries us through the desert. So the part of you or a part of an outer presence that helps you go through difficult times or through lonely times. Horse gives extra power, 4 legs, so it gives you the possibility to move faster, move better, longer. So it's really usually very commonly an extension of your own physical body. A wolf is an aggressor, a predator. So that would be the part of you that is the predator or an observed presence around the dreamer. The lion is the king, usually, dominating, brilliant, but potentially also a threat. So the part of you that would be either dominating or having these qualities. Bugs, insects are annoying little things that bother us. So this might indicate the part of you that has this bothering quality, usually negative thoughts or belief patterns, things that in fact bother you inside your system. Dogs and cats are home animals. They are more familiar. They live with us. So very often, whether they are cute or threatening, they will refer to a part of us that is our own animal nature inside our being, most often referring to our sexual nature. Dogs are more masculine, cats are more feminine. So according to the type of the aspect of your sexual nature that is more masculine, more active, or more feminine, more soft and receptive. So specific sexual symbols are often coming back, and we will come back on these aspects in another unit when we deal specifically with sexual dreams. But let's indicate here, since we talk about animals, that our sexual nature very often is represented by an animal. Dogs and cats. Snakes will often, not always, but often also be related to the male sexual organ. However, according to cultural difference or other projections you may do on snakes, there can be other aspects also. Fish. The shape of a fish will refer to the female sexual organ, so female sexuality. Fish can also carry other types of meanings. Again, this is more open. You always have to check. A seal has a similar kind of shape, so will also easily be an element that indicates a female sexual organ or female sexuality. The wolf or a bear or an ape, a black ape, can be indicating a sexual predator, the more aggressive part of a human sexual nature. And it might be referring to somebody outside in your outer environment. If you find yourself fighting with an animal, or if it bites you, your animal nature might express some inner conflict, but also sometimes possibly an outer conflict with somebody that you have experienced, that you carry the memories of, and that somehow in your dream is coming out. Fighting with a dog, with a cat, with a bear, or some other wild animal could represent the dreamer's difficulty to keep his sexual desire under control. But it can also indicate some outer aggression of a sexual nature. Check indications, other signals that somebody, the dreamer, may indeed be struggling with either an inner conflict or an outer conflict, or both. An outer conflict that has been integrated, that is still sort of nurturing some inner tension, fear patterns. Claws or sharp teeth penetrating the skin are likely to refer to some traumatic experience, possibly also of a sexual nature. Your body has been penetrated, hurt. Cages, hurt animals, tortured or starving animals would suggest that an aspect of your own being is treated inappropriately. So in all these examples, animals in your dream will represent a metaphor, will be a metaphor to some animal nature that you have not fully that you're not fully conscious of, that are not fully in your awareness. The dream offers you metaphors in order to reach this awareness. They're not totally straightforward usually. Let's look at a few examples. Here, a woman, she's in her 30s. There is a pig biting my right hand quite strongly. I am shaking my hand to free it from its grip, and I succeed in that. The pig falls down on the floor. Very short, simple dream. What does it mean? So we reformulated. My inner pig is strongly keeping my capacity to act. The hand, right hand, action. Left hand, reception. Right hand, giving, acting. So my inner pig is strongly keeping my capacity to act under control, painfully under control. I can't act anymore. I try to get rid of that, shaking that lazy nature away from me. Lazy nature, the pig. When we discussed with the dreamer, it appeared quite clearly that the pig represented her lazy nature indeed. that part of her that was prone to inactivity, that resisted action, which the hand refers to, the right hand. She had been aware of this issue for some time, and at the time of the dream, she found herself in a more dynamic inner space, having apparently cleared that resistance, freed herself from the grip of her inner pig, and decided to take action. So the dream does not give any other indication as to what exactly has been the cause of this inhibition to act. It's just saying something has been cleared. You got rid of your inner pig. Let's move on. Another woman. I am lying in a hospital bed. There is a black ape at my feet on my bed. I am very scared of it. The doctor comes in and reassures me. He says, if I can look at that ape, it is going to cure me. How do we reformulate this dream? This is quite clear. I find myself in my inner space of healing, the hospital. It's the hospital bed, so the bed also indicates the most intimate part of our life. And I discover an unwanted presence in my space of intimacy, the bed. I cannot clearly identify that presence. It's black, it's a little bit subconscious, but I feel it is of a brutal, instinctive nature. Ape. I'm very scared of it. I am in touch with that unresolved inner space of fear. However, my inner doctor, is it an inner doctor or an outer doctor, the inner healer or some outer person? You have to check, both are possible. However, here we are inside a hospital, so it might refer to an inner space. So the inner doctor says it's okay. So he welcomes this emergence of the presence. The inner healer says, if I can see what is there, that will help me cure my problem, my fear pattern. And indeed, by exploring these memories of sexual aggression, whatever they are, I will be able to free myself from the grip on me. That's what we have been doing. That's what we have been exploring, and what indeed has helped her release that memory. It was a signal of her inner reality showing up, this thing, saying she was ready to look at it. She needed to look at it in order to understand and get rid of that pattern in a way.